And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening, he lives the boss life, right? He's a serious entrepreneur, an author. Give a warm welcome to Stewarts McClain. Welcome to the show, but how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Dio? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing great. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me. It's an honor, man. It's an honor. So you're a busy bee. You got a lot of things going on. You're doing a lot of things. Uh,
Mhm.
First of all, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm having a great day. I didn't had a great day today. Life is good. I can't even complain, And if
Mm.
I did, my legs are too too short to complain.
Well, hey, that sounds great. So let's jump right into it. Talk to us a little bit what you do for our audience listening and watching.
What I do is I'm an author. I have many things I do, but one of my main things I do, I'm an author of 6 books. I love to
Wow,
write.
6.
Yes, and also I love to be able to train people and help them to be able to self-publish. One of my books is called How to Self-Publish Your Book, and also I have a course that's called How to Self-Publish, How to Write and Self-Publish. So I like to teach people and give them insight on how to be able to do it. Even when I have seminars or when I speak at different places, I like to also empower people that way. So, being an author is an amazing thing because, I mean, books reach people that you normally might not be reaching.
Facts. Yes, very true. Very true.
Yeah, so I love to write. Also, I have a nonprofit organization called All Hoods Unite. We all about the community. We about our youth. We're trying to empower them, help them with our student leadership program and anti-bullying.
Nice,
Also, we
nice.
in the community. Like for Christmas, we partnered with Toys for Tots. We passed out 400 toys to
Wow,
those.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was very exciting. I had an amazing time doing that. Me and my board, we're so excited, man. I'm just pumped up and just just excited about everything that's going on. That we're doing. But I'm an author, like I said. I'm have a nonprofit. We even have a video game out on Play Store called Ninja Boy. So it's
What? Say less. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna try it out.
yeah, it's free to
That's
download.
entrepreneurship at its best. You got 20 million things going on. Everything you do is positive. The growth is real. Like that's dope. That's dope. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
How long have you been doing the nonprofit for?
I've been doing a nonprofit going on 3 years now.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice, nice.
going on 3 years. Yeah, this is the third year. Really, the third year will be on the 20th of February.
Okay. So that's right around the corner, right?
Yes.
What inspired you to start your nonprofit organization?
Well, I always had a heart for people. I always pretty much been in some type of nonprofit work since 2000s. 2001, 2002. I was partnering with other.
Start your nonprofit organization.
Well, I have in the past worked for nonprofits, partnered with nonprofits. I just kind of like always been in the nonprofit work. I always have been doing something towards helping people, and
Nice.
that's what I love to do. It's just in me to be able to serve humanity and see people smile. The greatest thing you can do is to be able to give somebody something to eat, and they didn't. It's not about the money. It's about the feeling of I just helped somebody to eat. I just fed a family. I just seen somebody life change just because of my effort. You know.
That's awesome, man. That's what we need more in this life, right? Everything is real. It's real challenging right now. The economy. We're still trying to overcome somewhat of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get back on their feet. You know, business that were started in the pandemic, right, are now slowly falling and closing down because the difficult time we're in right now.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
that's amazing that we were able to have organizations like yourself, individuals like yourself that say, fuck it, I'm gonna help you
Yeah, for
and
real.
receive,
Yeah,
yeah, keep it real and receive nothing in exchange but kindness.
yeah. And then it's because my organization is called All Hoods Unite. We wanted to call it that because we wanted to unite all people. A hood is not a demographic of people, but a hood is a people.
The
And
community.
you're about people. Yeah. A
Yeah,
community of people. So it's like no matter who you are, what culture you are, what you identify by, we are here to be able to impact your life.
I find that extremely amazing because in this difficult time, that's what we need to be do united. It doesn't matter your color, race, where you're from. That's what we really need right now.
Yeah, we do. Unity.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me like what inspired you to start writing? Because you got
Uh,
6 books.
man, I
That's a
started writing.
lot.
Yeah, for real. I started writing probably about a good 10 years ago. And really what inspired me was I was working this particular job and I got like fired from the job and some things transpired and happened. And I was wondering like, man, like, okay, so what I'm gonna do next? I'm not sure. But then it's just like something hit me like, a book title hit me like from nowhere. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't know how to write no books. I don't know how to be an author. I wasn't even interested in it, to be honest. I like reading, because leaders are readers, but I never was really interested in writing my own book. But I just sat there, man, and it just like things started coming to me. I just started writing, and I started researching and I just started getting into it. And I
Yeah,
just started getting excited about it, you know? And I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, I'm up here really doing it. And it's crazy as hell because it's like a year or two before that, it was this guy I knew. He told me, he said, man, I think you're gonna be a writer one day. You're gonna write books and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know who he talking to. About you just got the
wasn't
wrong
expecting it.
person. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be no writer. That's not even in my what I was thinking about. But um, a couple years later, man, I just began to write and came out with a book. I didn't know a publisher, so I had a friend who had his books published before, so he um, showed me a publisher. He was like, "Hey, call my friend up." I called him up. He published my book, put it out there, and it was history. That's when I
What was that?
started.
What was the name of your first book?
It's called "Living in the Overflow: The Life of Abundance Is for You." That was my first book about the life of abundance, living an abundant life. What's abundance all about? So
Was it? Did you get any writing writing your first book? Did you get any writer's block? Was it difficult to you know process what details you wanted to be in the book?
yes, definitely. I had writer's block. It took me probably about a good 4 months to really put the book together. I
Wow.
kept stopping and starting. Sometimes I didn't know what to put. Sometimes I didn't know what to write. Sometimes I didn't even know what chapter or what topic I was going to write on. But I just kind of just paused, relaxed, and when things came to me, I wrote it on paper.
Yeah.
Even if I was sleeping, I woke up and something came to me, I had a notepad right by me, just in
Dope,
case.
dope. Yeah. Have you ever
Yeah.
thought of like writing scripts or ideas for scripts, TV shows, movies, whatnot,
No, I never really thought about that right now, but
telling a story?
because it's crazy because I used to write this story on social media, and it was called Chronicles of Little Baby. So I used to be talking about like this girl named Little Baby and how all these people try to talk to her, and she had this man named Big Dog, and he used to be like, "Little baby, I'm tired of you." She'd be like, "I'm tired of you, Big Dog. You make me sick," and then he like, "Little baby, I love you." No, you don't. You know what I mean? And it just was like people started getting into it, and they couldn't wait till I like post it again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they just was waiting for like the next. It was like suspense, so it was like, when he gonna post again about Lil Baby? You know, when he gonna post again? And then people used to reach out to me like, I love that. I love what you say about that. But I just never really got too deep into it. But
I mean, you should. I mean, you got everything packed down from the publisher. Yet the experience, because 6 books. Some people take 3-4 years to write one.
yeah, that's true. You're right.
That's a consistency and motivation. I mean, especially if people gravitate towards it, enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
And you're making an impact on the story, because the story has to be that good and relatable to them to reach out and I'm waiting for you when he's
yeah, that's true. Because most of my books though are self-help books. Like Ignite Your Dream, The Art of Discipline, No Direction. There are a lot of self-help, but that story, like you said, was kind of like a script, and people were really getting intrigued by it. They were really excited because I really get deep. I'm a thinker, so I start thinking. My mind just go like all kind of places, and it's able to relate with people.
Wow, that's awesome, man. You should really try it out. I mean, how's it been? The journey from that moment you got fired to present time.
Yeah, it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey. In entrepreneurship, you have ups and you have downs. You have good, you have bad months. You have good days. You have bad days. Yeah, you have good sales and then you have no sales. It's just all just goes with the whole aspect of being an entrepreneur. So, I have had a journey, in being an author and stuff like that. Had to still work and do what I got to do until I really get to where I need to be in life. So I'm still flying.
I like that you say that, because that's real. There's some truth in what you're saying, because people think that I have this dream, and I'm gonna quit my 9 to 5 to go towards that dream. It's not the same thing as like, you want to be an actor, you go acting school, or you travel. A lot of people go to New York or Atlanta now, that's popping, right? You need money to feed that dream so that it can become a vision. And that's like, let's take example of this podcast. I'm going on, I made 2 years in January 4th right now. All right, 2 years. Those 2 years, I had my real estate business, my wife, I had my t-shirt printing business. The podcast, started a media company. And yet all ideas flourishing, but yet, it's like you said, entrepreneurship up and down, because, you got to market yourself. That's cost.
That's true.
You got to invest, like printing business I had, right? Machinery to print, shirts, whatever, designing, the chemicals, the things you use, right? Everything's an investment, real estate, marketing yourself, paying for these seminars to help you become a better investor, better real estate agent. It's costly. Plus the overhead, the bills, house, food, kids.
Yes.
It's not as simple as that. Yeah, I'm gonna start this and it's gonna be, everything's gonna be, peaches and cream. You gotta work. I had to step away. I also had to go get a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Because in order for you to progress, to work, to achieve your vision, you gotta feed the beast.
You do. And I always tell people, work your job and work your dream. Your job is an investment to your dream. It's your bank. So you have your bank and you're investing in your future.
Yes. Like your course, right? Like your course. You have a course. You host a seminar. People have to, go to you to invest in their future.
Yes.
That's knowledge that you're teaching, right?
Yeah.
These are things that everything is cost.
Yes, it's cost. And also it's an investment.
Yes, 100%.
I'm working, but really I'm working to invest. in my future. So I'm
Correct.
investing in something that's taking me to the future.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm just putting seed in the ground and I'm not gonna get a harvest from it.
No, you're feeding it. You're nurturing it.
Yeah, you feeding it. But if I throw one thing about a seed, if you throw it on the ground, nothing's gonna happen. But when you put it in the ground, things begin to happen. And that's how it is with your job and your dream.
Yeah.
You keep feeding your dream enough, it's gonna get to the place where it needs to get to, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then people are gonna benefit from it, right? Right.
Preach. Preach.
It has branches, and also what begins to take place, it bears fruit. So
Yeah.
now when people eat from the fruit, they get in what you put in the ground and they didn't
Yeah.
even realize you was leaving.
They're enjoying the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's
I tell people all the time, you gotta work your 9 to 5, and your dream is your part time.
yeah,
You gotta continue to work that part time until it becomes your full time, so that the job you needed to maintain it disappears.
yeah.
It's like essentially like people have this contradiction of going to college, university, or whatnot. You should go, and you should go because you going to college, university is you studying something you're passionate about.
That's true.
Then
You're
when you
right.
come out, you get a job in it. Your
Yeah,
job is not to stay there for 20 years. Your job is to help you pay your debt, pay your bills, but also, nurture your dream. That's why you study
mhm,
for. But people
yeah,
stay stuck in this mentality that I got a degree, I got to get a job in my field. No, you study something so you can create something
yeah.
with it.
So you can create something because it helps you to create the vision. And like you said, also because I also got well, my other half, she has started a notary business, so we just opened up an office, here in
Nice,
our local.
congrats. That's a big
Also,
win.
it's a t-shirt. We started the t-shirt business. So
Yes.
it's crazy, but it still takes working together and doing what you have to do so the bills can get paid. Because you don't want to fall behind in being an entrepreneur and wonder what's going to happen. So like some people will tell people, just quit your job, just go all out. Nah, you don't have
Uh,
to, because you're gonna be going through a lot of stress and you don't want to have that unnecessary stress. Just let things grow. It's going to take time, but it's going to get to where it needs to be,
mhm.
and you'll be able to do it full time.
See, the
But
thing with entrepreneurship, it's like it's a hater. For me, it's bittersweet, right? Because the thing with entrepreneurship, you're in hustle mode, right? You're going, you're doing 5 things at once, and you're learning. So if these 5 things you're doing flourish, that's 5 sources of income,
mm-hmm,
right?
you're right.
And sometimes you get so overwhelmed that you the focus you need on each and every one doesn't flourish. So therefore,
Yeah,
you got to focus on one thing. You
that's
focus
true.
on one thing until that flourish. Now you take the seeds the things you're able to gain through that one thing. Now you put in another thing, and then
Yeah,
another thing,
that's
and then
how it's supposed to be.
everything goes
That's
structure wise.
like my focus is on my books, because I just love books. I love teaching people how to, even because now I do self publishing, so I learned that from my publisher. He had a course out and I took his course, and his course taught you how to self publish your own books. So that's what my course teaches people now, how to write and self publish their own books. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
Oh yeah, it's and what's crazy is that like he taught you, and now you created this course, and we're like, it's probably you make it even more easier and simple.
Yeah. Make it so.
That it gives room for possibilities for
It
everyone.
do. Yes. Yes, it very much so does, man. And I'm very excited about it. I'm excited about empowering people because I want people to get the knowledge they need so they can be able to empower others, and also for their dreams to come true. Some people just wait and they sit there and, think about this, right? A well inside of the water, it flourishes, right? But if you
Mhm.
take the well outside of the water, it's going to suffocate because it's not in the right environment. But as soon as you put it in the right environment around the right uh, elements and the right things, it begins to start to grow. It begins to start to flourish because it's in the right environment. So when people are getting taught what they need to learn and they around the right people, they're getting the right teaching, they're going to flourish.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's a very tedious. It's a mindset, right?
Yeah.
And you either gotta you have to say something that's gonna activate their thought process of wanting progress, right?
Yes.
Or you gotta do something like it's doing something, the saying or doing that has to activate that thought process.
Yeah, that's true. And just like people say, what's the key to happiness? The key to happiness is progression.
Yeah.
When you progress, it makes you happy. Because you say, you know what? Wow, I just put this brick on this house. Now I just put the second brick. Wait a
Learning,
minute.
yeah.
The 20th brick. Oh, it's becoming a house.
Yes.
You start getting that enthusiasm and you start feeling great because you know that you're building something that you've seen on the inside and it's coming to life. So now you're getting excited.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you CPR, they bring you back to life.
Yes. Yes. And it's so it's so difficult. Yet it sounds so simple, but it's so difficult because the person has to want it.
Yeah.
And it's not just changing your mindset, but also changing the content of your character.
That's true.
Making decision makings, changing a way of life. Accepting things you never wanted to accept or never realized you needed to accept. Is that progress that slowly forms that circle of life and connects in order for you to find that progress.
That's true. And also, it made me think about this story about this eagle, and this eagle was in the pigeon's coop. It was with the pigeons. It grew up with the pigeons. It loved the pigeons. That's all it's seen was the pigeons. And one day, eagles were flying by, and one of the eagles seen the eagle, and it began to wave at it. And it looked up, and it looked around, and it was like, "Hey, what is it waving at me for?" So the eagles went by the second time. They waved at him. He looked, why are they waving at me for? So the third time they waved at him, it was a mirror by. He looked in the mirror. He seen all the pigeons around. And he said, wait, they look just like me. I'm an eagle. So he started flying. And he realized he's supposed to be with the eagles, not the pigeons.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy about that is that at the end of the day, they're all they're all birds.
Yeah.
Like we are all humans.
That's true. We all birds. We're all humans, but we all have differences. And he didn't realize that his difference was supposed to be with the eagles, because eagles only meet eagles in flight.
Mm-hmm.
Pigeons can't fly high as eagles can fly. But he thought he was supposed to be a pigeon because that's what he grew up with. That's what he grew up around. And sometimes our identity can be what we know, but we're supposed to be eagle.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, the negative ignorance sometimes it's heavy influential, right? So it's a constant battling that, right? Until you find a place that you feel you're among people that want the same thing as you. Yeah. Progress, right? It's like the concept of the apple. If you put an apple where fruits are rotting, the apple's in a blink of an eye is gonna rot. Yes. But if you're gonna put that apple with fresh fruit, it's gonna stay there. Mm-hmm. Let it take its course until the time comes, right?
Yes.
You gotta. It's difficult. It's tedious, but it's not impossible. You gotta, once you get that thought that activates everything else, you gotta slowly start going where you're supposed to be. Because it's not who you are. It's who you want to be.
Yeah, it's what you want to. Yeah, who you want to be. Because you become into that version of yourself that you're supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. But you begin to gravitate to people who are like you because you want to be that. I gravitate with. I'm always around a lot of entrepreneurs. Always. I like being around it. I mean, I'll be around like, some of my family members and stuff like that, at times, but
Yes.
I'm around entrepreneurs and stuff, man, it's something just
It's the
we,
conversation of progress.
yeah, because we understand each other's language, you know.
Yes.
One of my friends told me a long time ago, really, it's probably about, what did he tell me this about 2 months ago? We were talking and stuff. And he's very wealthy, one of my friends. And he was like, man, he said, billionaires talk about something different than millionaires. He said, if you get in a room with billionaires, most of them going to talk about how they helped all the charities they helped and all the charities that they love giving to. And I said, wow, I didn't never thought, But he said, yeah, he said the language is different. And that's how it is when you get amongst a lot of entrepreneurs. The language is different. Because if you tell your boss that you are starting a business and you're excited about it, he'll say, I believe that you can do it. But if you tell a coworker or somebody else, sometimes they'll be like, oh, why are you doing all that? Because they don't
Yeah.
see CEO in you like he
Yeah.
do. Because he understand it. Because he had to go through it. So he'll understand
it's a numerous things, right? Because sometimes people just don't know how to support because they were never supported.
That's true too.
You're
right.
Or
Yeah.
they don't know how to support because they tried it at one point and they weren't surrounded with people that failed but progressed, right?
Yeah.
And they found some failing and that's it. That's where they left off. So
That's,
when you hear you say something like that, they only envision themselves. And it's like,
yeah.
I didn't do it. You definitely can't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
And
That's
it's
how they.
only until you actually make it that you give that revelation of them. It's like, damn, he did it.
Yep.
You made him
Yeah.
believe him that you can do it.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I love to make people out of believers. All the doubters, all the haters, all the people that say you can't do it, you won't do it. You got to have in your mentality and your mindset to say, I'm going to do it regardless if you say yes or no, because I'm strong and I'm an eagle.
And you're gonna soar through the airs.
Yes, and then if I don't soar through the air, I'm gonna be like the king of the jungle, a lion, and I'm gonna roar.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have dominion in the air or on the ground. You have power no matter what. So
Yeah.
you unstoppable.
It's work. Everything's work.
Yeah.
Everything's earned and nothing's given. And I think that's what makes it difficult sometimes, because sometimes people live in that mindset. They expect.
Yep.
I expect.
Yeah.
I expect this.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not like that.
No, and then also sometimes people too, they judge a book by its cover, but they never read the pages of the book. So they don't understand the story behind the book.
Yeah.
How they get there, or how did they make it here, or how did they, because you didn't see their story. You just seen their cover.
Mm-hmm.
But if you read the pages of their story, you'll understand them better.
Yeah, you gotta dive deep into their life to understand. Everyone has a reason of doing something.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad, but there's always a cause.
That's true.
Once you realize that, then you realize how can you affect and interact and touch each individual.
Yeah. And even some people may be wondering, like, how can I get to the next level? How can I get to the next place? By staying focused.
Yeah.
You got to focus on your craft and focus on what you're trying to do in life, and don't ever give up.
Yeah, correct. 100%.
Keep on going. We all have detours. But one thing I love about the GPS system, it may give you a detour, but you're going to still get to your destination.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to go a different route, but you're going to definitely get there.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And sometimes we need those detours. We need to take a step. I tell people all the time, we need to take a step back sometimes and reanalyze, recalculate, revision, because somebody who lives in a dream is just dreaming. It's something to start slowly developing your vision, is that you're going to execute it.
Yeah.
These ideas, dreams, there's just stages. Stage 1, stage 2, you got to, You gotta keep
And also,
going.
people can't get upset because of closed doors, because that's the rerouting at times. Somebody recently closed the door on me with the nonprofit because I was trying to get food to be able to help people, us to give away food and stuff like that to some people, because we do it, but we wanted to do it through a organization, supporting us. So, the person, they was excited to meet me and all this stuff, but then they stopped, getting with my texts and stopped, they stopped all this other stuff and it really hurt my heart, because I'm like, come on, man, we trying to help people, we trying to feed people. But it had me to go through other organizations that's really well known. And one of the organizations just recently approved us, to be able to
Nice,
start
congrats.
giving away food to people. So I'm just waiting on that call, from one of their partners, and I'm excited
Bro,
about it.
let's pray to God and hope you get it, from
Yeah, I
your mouth to
appreciate it.
God's ears. It only
Yeah,
takes one. It only takes one. That's what people don't understand. You can, knock on doors and get a no, 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 no. Eventually, you're gonna get a yes.
yeah, that's
It's gonna
true.
take some time. It only takes one.
Yeah, you're
It only
right.
takes, yep.
Right.
It only takes one that's gonna give you the opportunity to show what you're truly made of.
Yeah,
And
and
the,
that's true.
and the depending on how you do is gonna open the next one. The
Yeah,
next one, and the next
mm,
one. It's
stay doing.
always, yep. It's always in business, in any type of business. It's always quality or quantity.
Mm, I
You
like that.
know, a lot of people, you know, when I started going back to the work field, right?
Mhm.
I had two offers. One was willing to pay me 70,000 a year.
Yeah,
I stood there 3 days. All of the money was extremely good. They were focused on quality, on quantity.
mm,
They were focused on getting more and more and more, that they weren't nurturing the process.
wow.
And as soon as they got them, as soon as they left.
Mm,
And, me building myself for the past 3 years, building what I want to build, right? Trial and
yeah,
error, trial and error, trial and error. I notice, when you're starting, quality is what's going to set you aside.
that's true.
Quality is what's going to sell you when somebody says, I could get here this shirt cheaper. Okay, go get them. You go do
Hmm.
that. Makes you feel okay. I'd rather take that L and not take that down payment and continue on quality or its quantity.
Yeah, that's true.
So I settled for this job that's right at the level that I am.
Mm,
And I know as they grow, I can grow.
yeah, that's true.
As they progress, I can progress, not in just their business, but also in mine. It's that
Yeah,
balance of assistance.
yeah,
It's that execution and free movement I need to continue doing what I'm doing
yeah.
without no pressure. And I settled because they were focused on quality.
Mm,
They knew that they got a lot of things, but
hmm.
it's the quality that's going to set them aside. It's going to make
Yeah,
them the difference.
that's true. It's just like a
And
diamond.
yeah.
You know
And
what?
I want that.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me longer. It's gonna take me longer. It's gonna take me 5, 10 years probably. I'm not 6, depending, but I'm gonna get there. But my legacy, my empire, whatever you're trying to create for yourself, that's gonna be long lasting
Yes.
because you focus on the quality you're doing every step. It's like playing chess, right? I'm not sure if you
Mm,
play chess. Every chess piece, every move has to solidify the next step. Every
yeah,
every move is special. Doesn't matter how big or small. It's special.
that's
It's
true.
special for any progress of winning the game or playing in life.
Mm,
So I
that's
I
real.
chose that. A lot of people said you're stupid, but I chose that because
Yeah,
if I
because
didn't choose that, I wouldn't be here.
yeah, and like you said, quality. Because I mean, think about it. Even in life, when you get quality things, it makes you feel good. You can have a lot of uh clothes and save all your clothes. It's a lot of them, but they always rip when you put them in the washer
Hmm.
or the dryer. You're like, oh, I got 10 pairs of pants and they all ripping. But if you have some good ones, they're not gonna rip. They're not
Yeah,
gonna fade. you're gonna feel good about it. And that's how it is even in business. When you give people more than what they expect, they like, wow, like this person's cards are great. Wow, this person's website looks so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it blows their minds because they didn't know you had that kind of quality that you want to give to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember a guy told me one time before I was speaking at his seminar, and I gave him one of these like old like pictures or whatever, and he was like, "Man, he was like, I don't want that picture." And I'm looking like, "What you mean you don't want that picture?" I felt offended. I was I was mad as hell. What the
Hey, what
hell?
you mean? I look good in that picture.
Yeah. So I was mad at the time, but then I sat back and I thought about it because he said, "Man, where you headed in life, you are an amazing person. You're great." And this was years ago, probably good what 10, 11 years ago or whatever. But he was like, "Man, you need to take some professional pictures and then send me one of those pictures because that's what kind of person you are. You're not no lightweight in this earth, and you need to represent it." So I
Facts, yeah.
did, yeah. So I did it, and I felt amazing. And even when I did that, more doors started opening for me. You know, just from his little seminar I did. And then other stuff started happening because I had to not take it as he's coming at me, but he's teaching me something. And I shouldn't get offended by it because he's trying to help me to level up and have quality of whatever I do.
No,
So
it's sometimes sometimes you gotta pay. When you're trying to do quality, it's gonna cost people.
yeah,
When you're trying to do quantity, it's gonna be a lot for less, but is it valuable?
yeah, is it valuable? And it is so real because even like my daughter, she's 9, but we have her. She's CEO of our soap business called Boss Life Fresh Soap. So
Nice.
we're grooming her to be able to take on this responsibility. But I told her, I said, we revamping the website, we revamping things because I wanted to take some professional pictures,
Yeah.
because I want to be able to be represented right, you know. So that's what I told her. I said, I want you to be represented
Yeah.
right in the right way. So we're not going to throw you out there, rinky dink. We're going to make sure that it's
No,
quality.
hey, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like example, like DIO, right? Essential Dream Inspire Retain, right? So the
Yeah.
brand is uh dreamers inspiring other dreamers to obtain their goal. That's what you do. You have a dream, and
Yeah.
as you're going forward and gaining it, you're inspiring others to do the same thing as you.
Yes.
Simple, right? So each image has to represent something. So like when I started putting out, I was gonna sponsor people,
Mm-hmm.
right? In sponsorship, there's certain criterias. Like you
Yeah.
don't want you're a brand, not like Coca-Cola. That's the name brand. You don't want your
Mm-hmm.
brand affiliated to anything else. Like
Yeah.
Boss Life, you want to be doing boss moves.
Yes.
You want to have
Yeah.
a professional image.
Yes.
You don't want to have a negative it being involved in any negative scenario.
Yes.
So,
That's true.
try to avoid those affiliation. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, you try to explain that to individuals and they don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's fine because when you're focusing on quality, quality of people are going to approach you. Quality of
Yes.
people are going to invest in you.
Wow.
Quality of people are the ones who got you.
Yeah. And that's real, and like you said, when you do it's true because that's what you begin to draw to you. Quality people. It's just like a person in a relationship. If you always want to be with people that's low grade, that's what you're going to be with. Drama, misery, and sadness.
Yeah, the same miserable cycle.
Yeah, but if you with somebody who at least got a little high grade, got a mind on them, trying to do right, trying to grind, do what they need to do, their standards are a little higher. Man, that's what
No,
they be.
it's nothing. Listen, there's nothing wrong wanting more.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Why
not.
why why settle if the maximum lifespan of any human being is probably 75.
Yeah, you're right.
When you turn 30, you're entering your prime. Why settle for a Honda when you can have a Toyota?
Yeah.
Like why settle for if you live in America, why settle for a Toyota and get a Ford or Chevrolet? American
Yeah.
made cars, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Why
get what
have
you
an iPhone and when you gotta pay everything when you can have a Samsung and you could get the same app for free? Like you don't have to be, and this is I blame rappers for this, man. I love hip hop, but I blame rappers. They give a silly lifestyle. You don't have
Mm,
you don't have to have a Lambo or Lamborghini, which is what everybody wants, right? Or a big
that's
ass
true.
mansion, right? You can live a
Yeah,
good life
you can. You can. You can. You
with
don't have to.
values, with
Yep.
progress.
Yep.
Like
That's what it's about. And then it's about quality. If you live in an apartment right now, but if it's looking trashy, that's not quality. At least keep
right.
your house clean. At least keep stuff looking nice. Now that's quality.
That's
Because
care. That's called
yeah,
care. Care for
it's
your things.
yeah, and like you said, when and then say if you do maneuver, you want to get you a condo or a house or whatever, at least you keeping that together. So now you're able to be responsible for more things because you was able to keep the little things together.
Yeah.
And that's the thing sometimes, even about entrepreneurship. People will jump in deep, but they haven't never been in shallow. And if you can't swim in shallow, why are you trying to swim in deep? At least
One
learn
hundred
how to
percent.
swim.
100%.
When you get in the deep, when you jump in there, it's going to be easier because now you know how to swim
Yeah.
because you learned it.
But I've learned, and throughout my journey, right, I learned there's two types of entrepreneurs. There's the one that upsells the image, right?
Yeah.
Lives in depth, hustling because he doesn't live his end doesn't means right. Like
Mm-hmm.
he thought he's driving a BMW, but he can't afford it,
Yeah.
right? And then
In
there's
the,
entrepreneurs that like become rapidly successful is because they learn how to value things. They
yeah.
might not look like the average suit and tie entrepreneur, but they become more successful because they know how to take care of things.
That's
Right?
true. Right.
A lot of entrepreneurs want to sell you something,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have no idea what the product is.
Yeah.
You have
You're right.
entrepreneurs because they knew how to care for, let's say, a bottle of fucking water, right? They knew how to, it was manufactured. They recycled. They knew how the thing works. They're better salespeople towards you because they know how to talk about it,
Yeah.
you know?
That's true. And also,
And
go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and also, like a guy told me, he said, "Man, one thing about me, because sometimes I go to this meeting, and it's a bunch of entrepreneurs around, like once a week, and he was like, man, when I come into the room, I don't expect to just receive, but I expect to give.
Correct.
I want to give knowledge. I want to give encouragement. I want to give. If somebody don't know something, I want to be able to teach them and help them so they can be able to achieve what they need to achieve in this life or in their business or whatever they're trying to do. And I said that's so true because this how life's supposed to work. You're supposed to have somebody pouring into you and
Mm-hmm.
you pouring into somebody. Somebody's teaching you and you're teaching somebody else. That's how life's supposed to be. It's just like a parent teaches the children.
It's a
Say if you
cycle.
have an older child, you're teaching them, and they're teaching the younger kids. Or you're teaching your wife or your woman, and she's teaching the children. It's a family. It's an order to it. And that's how it's supposed to be, even in mentorship and in entrepreneurship. You learn, you teach.
And it's also like I the way you speak and what you say, right? I try not to go to these seminars, right, where they give motivation and whatnot, because I find myself very most often disappointed because it's the way people speak, right? Like people want to be give that motivation, right? Like I remember having this conversation what the job I told you was offering me 70, right? 70,000 a year. And he was like, yeah, because I look into like Kobe Bryant, right? You know, the block mama mentality, you know, like do more, and have this have this like grind. And you know, I had to stop him. I'm like, that's the wrong mentality you have, because right now the company, it's customer service.
Yeah.
Right? It's customer service. It's
Yeah.
being polite, being communicated with one another, being
Mm-hmm.
servant, right? You know, the block mama's mentality is you alone and killing it. You're
Yeah.
not, and in this case, in this scenario, right, in this business, I told them, you're not alone.
Yeah. You're not. That's
It's
true.
it's 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 you know, it's more psychologically, it's understanding people,
Yeah.
you know, understanding what motivates them so that they can give the best version of themselves and give that 5-star customer service.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if we're chilling in a hotel, 5-star hotel, and I go on that black mama mentality, right? You're gonna get aggressive. Yeah, what you
Mm-hmm.
want, right? Like I would understand that if the guy who picks up your luggage, it has that black mama mentality because he has to pick up shit and take it, and he's hustling.
Yeah. He's a hustler. Yeah.
But somebody who's giving you that customer service, right,
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have that. And when I see these seminars, right, they're talking about that motivation. It's like, yeah, let's get it, but you're not saying nothing. You're not talking about nothing.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
one number one thing that an entrepreneur has is that they're struggling.
That's true.
They're struggling. So I
Yeah.
need to say something and where we can connect.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Cause,
my next thing is once we connect, should be this is what I'm doing.
yeah.
And this is the mindset you need to have.
That's
And
true.
in spite of difficulties, the car, the house, whatever, this is what you need to keep in mind, for you to succeed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some
And
people
also,
just go
people got
ahead.
to have the mindset too. It's all an inside job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because money only magnifies what's already inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're arrogant, if you're hateful, if you mean, you're going to be more mean, more arrogant, and more hateful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's all about personal development. So as people develop, everything around them begins to enlarge.
Correct.
But it's all on the inside first. It has to be personal development because some people, they'll have a good gifting in a certain area, but their character can't keep them where they need to go be at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dude can be from the hood, but he's supposed to be meeting the president of the United States, and he still had that same mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't know how to dialogue at that table.
Mm-hmm.
He got a good gift. He know how to, get to where he needs to be by his talent.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked on the inside, personal development. And that's what helps you to grow as a person and individual. And it helps you to expand in every area of your life.
Yeah. But in
You
order
know
for you to, it's like, in order for you to love, you gotta love yourself first.
You do.
And that's personal development. That's you gotta understand yourself first. You gotta dive deep within you, right?
Deep.
It's like it goes like that saying, don't do something if you don't do something to somebody else if you want to like done to you.
Yeah.
So you gotta put yourself in that predicament. You really gotta I don't know the word for it. You gotta empathize. You gotta understand with yourself.
Yeah, you do. And
You
also,
like,
like you just said, the biggest thing in the world that a lot of people haven't mastered, and that's self-love.
yeah.
That's self-love. A lot of people have not mastered loving themselves, and also they don't have any self-awareness. So they can love their kids, they can love their mom, they can love their dad, they can love who they're with, but they gotta love themselves. And a lot of times people put themselves last and everybody else first. And then they find themselves resenting life. Then they find themselves resenting the person they like.
Become
they find
angry and bitter.
yeah, because they don't self-love is making sure you good too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Having
yeah.
it helps you even in life to be able to progress. But a
Yes.
lot of times, because I've been there before, man. I've been there when I put myself last and everybody else was first, and I felt horrible.
That's when you're the most unhappiest.
Yes, yes, I've been there before in my life, man. When I remember one time I was at a park, man, and I just was looking in the water, and I was like, man, I just was thinking about what happened if people were drowning all around me, and I didn't know how to swim, but then I jump in there and try to save them, and then I drown, and then they get saved, and they make it, but I don't because I tried to save them and I knew I couldn't swim. But that's how it is when you put yourself last.
Yes. Yeah.
You try
Yeah.
to jump in a water full of people that need your help, but you need help also.
Mm-hmm.
First, you got to help you. What they say when you're on a plane, if it's going down, first put the mask on yourself.
Before you put on somebody else.
Yes.
100% facts.
Yes.
Yeah. Loving yourself is it's not putting yourself in certain predicaments.
Yeah.
You know, and it may come off as selfish, but damn. Why you know, it's like why put myself in that predicament?
Yeah.
You know,
Why?
why like because that's people are crazy sometimes, bro. People will put you in this awkward, uncomfortable position,
That's
right?
true.
Just because they need it.
Yeah.
Not thinking or accepting or even wanting to know what it made you feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as you realize, like, nope, I'm good. And
Mm-hmm.
don't put yourself in that predicament. They start people in your life will start picking off slowly.
Yeah. They
But then
will. For real.
people, yeah, but good people will start now approaching you because a good person would understand you, would never try to put you in a predicament like that.
Yeah,
That's
never.
friendship.
And also when you understand yourself, like you said, you wouldn't put yourself in certain predicaments because now you understand what love means. Now you understand what boundaries mean. Now you
Yes.
understand who you are as a person and you value yourself. So
Yes.
when you begin to value yourself, other people begin to value you even more
Yes.
because you respect you, right? Because
Yes.
you love
Yes.
you, you adore you, because you
Yes.
feel like you're an amazing person and they do too.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and that comes by really, and that's why, like me, I meditate a lot. You know, I do meditation. You know, I got a book out called The Science of Meditation because I believe in meditating. Even with my family, we meditate every Monday meditations. You know,
No.
we meditate, everybody meditate. You know, the kids meditate, everybody, because I want them to be able to know how to meditate and have say affirmations. And I always have like a word for the week, you know,
Yeah.
because that gives you self-awareness. Meditation helps you to go inside of you, pull out who you are, and look at yourself from a different perspective. It's like a fan, right? Say that you are in a baseball game, right? And you play the game all the time, but you never became a fan to your own life. So you don't know, oh man, if I would have swung like that, because the fan get to see everything. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, that's why they missed it. They did this, that, but sometimes you could be caught up so much in your game that you forget to be a fan to your own life so you can understand where your life is headed.
Yep. Yep. That's that's amazing you do that. I just do jujitsu.
Hey, everybody have what they do,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You
deep.
know, whatever helps you to be in line and in alignment with what's going on with the universe and with God, and you know what I'm saying? Because think about this: universe means what? Una means one, right? Verse means poetry. So when you become one with the universe, you know what happens? Your poetry begins to flow into the world. That means your gifting and all that stuff. It's like a poetry to other people.
That's beautiful. That's some deep stuff, man. That's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's
Yes.
it's for me, like once I realize where I'm at, right? It's sense of awareness, very
Yeah.
important. Sense of awareness. I keep telling people, they look at me like I'm crazy. Realize where you're at. Realize who has the
Yeah.
power. Who has the power?
Yes.
Realize, talk to yourself. Do you have power? You
Mm-hmm.
build the power up. You essentially, like you said, you're a fan. You have control.
Yes.
And if
Yeah.
you're not realizing where you are, then things are just gonna get worse. Because if you
That's
did, I gotta stop doing this. I gotta do more over here. I gotta do
yeah.
better here. I gotta take this away. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the same way money goes. Like you get a paycheck. As an entrepreneur, I pay myself first. That's how I build my savings, right? Then a
Yeah.
little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. All right, we're good. Next month, same thing. Pay myself first. That's my savings. At the end of the day, bills are
Mm-hmm.
always going to come. Bills are always going to be there. You got to put yourself first. That's my
Yeah.
savings. Pay a little bit here, but by the end of the month, everything's paid. And
Yeah.
continue. Next thing you know, 12 months pass. You have a decent amount of savings. Your bills continue to be up to date, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way your life has to be as well. If you come to
It has to
things.
be. It has to be, man. And and also what I learned too as an entrepreneur is good to be able to be a person who has a giving heart. Give clothes, give to charities, give to foundations. Like me, I'm always giving to my nonprofit. Because I realize closed hands don't get fed. So when you release, things in the universe begins to release to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we try to hold. Oh, I'm scared. Why are you scared? What you
It's all
so scared?
materialistic stuff, man. All materialistic stuff.
It's the law of reciprocity. When you give, you receive. It's just like
Preach.
it's the law of reciprocity, man. And I have seen it in my own life. When I give to like today, I went to donate some things that we like clothes and other things to the thrift stores and stuff like that.
Mm.
We gave today, and it felt great. But people got to realize that when you do give, things going to happen in your life. Even if you're giving from a great heart and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mm.
just going to happen because you can't plant a seed without nothing coming up. But that's
Facts.
another thing that will help expansion and things happen in your business and in your life too as an entrepreneur. Nobody really talks about it, but it's real. The giving,
Mm-hmm.
giving something from your organization. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me give for my business $10 a month. Let me give $25 a month to a foundation, to something that I really believe in. To like one of my kids was born with cleft lip and palate. Let me give to a cleft lip and palate, foundation,
My
$25 a
son
month.
is my son's autistic
Yeah,
organization.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you do that, things begin to happen supernaturally in your business and other stuff, and you be wondering, well, how did stuff happen? Because you was
And to clarify, it's not just giving; it's you wanting to give.
you wanted to give. Yeah, that's what I'm
Not
saying. You
not
wanted to give.
not giving something and hoping for something in return.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
can give and sometimes you'll get nothing in return.
yeah. That's true. That's
And
true.
that's okay.
But you're planting seeds, right? So you're doing it. See, let me tell you something. One thing about life and law? Laws are inherent in the earth. That means they abide in the earth, right? So law says, even if I give, and I don't even give with a good pure heart, but I give, I'm still gonna receive because I could plant a seed and I can be mean. I could be a mean person. I could be crazy. But don't you know that tree is gonna still grow?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's because it's law. Some stuff is law, so it gotta work.
So
But
it'll
like,
be like
but it's law.
yeah. It'll be
It's
like
most,
so the question is how will you grow? Because
yeah,
if you're not nurturing love and care and giving all those values your tree's gonna,
and
you
it's
get what I'm
messed
saying?
up.
Yep.
But that goes back to personal development.
How would you know if you don't figure yourself out?
Yeah, because if you're
Yeah.
doing it in the right motive, it's gonna come and it's gonna show when that tree grows.
This episode is just dropping gems. Jam. Listen, talk to me about your course, real quick before we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my course is amazing, man. It teaches about how to be able to write your book, how to be able to scale your book, what platforms to put your book on so you can be able to get sales. Man, it's so amazing. Like everything you need on self-publishing your book, how to
Mm.
do it, where to do it,
I'm
what
gonna check it. I'm
where
gonna
to,
check that out.
yeah, it's called How to Self-Publish Your Book. And you'll be able to find it on my website. So my website, you want me to give
Yeah,
my
give
website?
it before we go give all
Okay.
your links, all your plugins. Preach on.
Okay. All right. Well, my website is www.stewartmcclain.com. Also, you can find me also on Facebook at Stewart McClain, on Instagram, Boss Life, Stewart McClain. And
I'm gonna start following you right now.
Yeah. Huh?
I'm gonna start following you right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Until you put in your plugins, brother. Don't worry.
Sure. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, but you can follow me on those different platforms. But my course will really help you to be able to get to where you need to be in life, in that particular. And also with my course, after my course, if you need like help or you need instruction, I'm here for you to be able to give you guidance.
Boom.
You know, because I want everybody to get it. So.
Boom. There you go, guys. Go make sure to follow him. Go support him. Go to his website. Go check out his course. I know there's a lot of you because I counter them, every day almost, asking how can they, start writing a book? How can they publish it? These are all common questions. Don't feel afraid to hit him up. Please support. Go support his nonprofit organization as well. Yeah, guys, make sure to follow me at MrDreamInspiredTen.com. Yeah, I'm out, guys. Have a good night. It's been an hour, my brother.